Well, my loves, I'm Andrea, and welcome to Life as I Know It. Today, we're going to do some fun and easy fall decor. So, with that being said, let's get to crafting. Now, I took these two 3D pumpkin frames from the Dollar Tree, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the twist ties and I'm going to clamp them together. So, I'm going to put two up the top and three at the bottom. Now, this little piece of wood I got from the dollar store in the Crafter Square section. I think it just said wood slack or something like that. Now, if you have a staple gun, the staple gun is a better user than what I'm trying to do right now. I would definitely use a staple gun. These little hooks are made just like the staples. So I don't know why. I don't know where my staple gun was. So I'm going to get a hammer and then I'm going to hand these down. But I'm going to put three of them in there to hold down the frame. Now you can put any flowers that you want inside of your frame. I got these from Walmart. They were $3.89. They're lamb's ears. So I just grabbed two and I'm just gonna put one on each side of the frame. Now, as I was doing this, I realized you could see the nail. So I took a piece of burlap ribbon and I connected to the bottom of the wire. So you can leave it just like that. You see how your flowers are sitting up. You can leave it like that, or what I'm going to do is take a twisty tie, tie all that in together, cut the twisty tie, and you won't even see it because we're going to put more flowers in here and we're also going to put some pumpkins on top of it. So you don't have to do this, but to me it worked out better once I had that tied down to the actual piece of wood. We're going to add some more flowers and our pumpkins. The velvet pumpkins came from the dollar store and the one in the middle came from Walmart and it was $2.98. So whatever flowers or picks that you want to put in here, that's what we're going to start adding into our arrangement. And once we have all our picks and our flowers inside our arrangement, we're going to put it aside and we're going to make a bow to put on top. So I got this ribbon from the dollar store, and what you do is fold it over several times. So it depends on how big you want your bow is how many times you fold it over. But make sure the loops are even on both sides before you cut. And once you're satisfied with how big you want your bow, you cut it off. I fold the ribbon in half, and then I make little cuts on both sides so that I can put the ribbon in those little cuts and then pull it tight to make my bow. Now I added Chanel stem, which you can do if you're going to add more ribbon with on top of that particular bow. So after I did that, I realized I'm not going to add anything on there. So I went on here, twisted on top, and put it there. So then I decided afterwards to put another bow on top, but I did not add it to the Chanel stem. Now, one of the things we have to do that I forgot was the top part of the pumpkin. You want to cover that wire. So you can either use ribbon that you're using to make a bow, you could use burlap ribbon or cord and just wrap it around the top. Because depending where you're going to put this arrangement, the back part is going to be showing. Now, if you're going to put it against the wall, then it doesn't matter. But if you're going to put it somewhere like as a centerpiece, then we need to make the bow bigger. Or you can do what I did because I just felt like doing this. I made both sides different. So what I'm doing now is taking it 2B mesh from the dollar store, and I just held it in my hand and just made loops and just kept making loops like you're about to tie your shoes. I just made loops. I would take it, flip it with a loop, hold it, and then flip another one, hold it, and that's how I got it. And then when I was done, I just wrapped the end around the loops to hold it together, and then I just attached it to the back of the frame. You don't have to do this. Like I said, you can use more ribbon and make a big bow. So I'm going to make another bow. So like I said, you just hold it in your hand and you loop it, hold it again, flip it over, loop it again, and hold it depending on how big and fluffy you want the loops to be. And you just add on. I am really loving this mesh. This is like the first time I've used it this year, and it is really something fun to use. I'm definitely going to add it to my Christmas wreaths. So I decided to make another bow. So I'm going to do it the exact same way I did the first bow. I folded several times, increased it in the middle, and then I put slits on the side. And now I'm taking a ribbon and tying it. And once you have that, and all you do is fluff out your ribbon. You just pull on the middle part and you just keep pulling them apart. And this is where the wire comes in. If you have it in your ribbon, it'll help shape the bow of the ribbon. And once we fluff out our bow, we're going to duct in the ends, and we're just going to add a little hot glue and attach this to the top of the bow. And once I was done with this, I happened to find this flower clip. So I'm going to take the flower clip and add it to the other side. Like I said, you can just make one big bow and cover the whole top. But I decided to do two just for the fun. And once we put our clip on here, we are done with this DIY. Now, I got this piece of wood from Lowe's, and I'm just going to stain it. I've heard people say in certain cities that they can get free wood from Lowe's and Home Depot. Well, that's not happening where I live, so you have to pay for the wood. So you can go in the stores and go to the section where they have odd pieces and they will cut the odd pieces down for you. So I got like several pieces, and it might have been like $9, and I'm like still using the pieces. So you go to the bag, like I said, where they have wood that's already cut or was piece of something that was returned, and they will cut it down for you. So once we have this stain and we let it dry, we're going to take these window clings and we're going to use some Mod Podge to attach the window clings to the wood. And you can put a generous amount of Mod Podge on the back of the window clings. I found these gnomes window clings in Family Dollar. So I keep forgetting to go into stores and check because they have a lot of stuff in there that you can find for $1 and $2 and $3. So definitely check out your Family Dollars if you have them in your area, or Dollar Generals, because they sell items too, decorations for under $5. But like I said, the gnomes are taking over for the holidays. And once we have all our window clings on, what we're going to do is we're going to add some Nautica rope to the outside of the wood. Now, you can either use wood glue, or you can use hot glue, or you can use them both. So I did some of both because you really want it to stick right then and there. So spread out just a little bit of wood glue, put a drop and just spread it out, and then put some hot glue and then to go. And like I said, we're just going to go ahead and take the rope all the way around the frame of the wood. And once we have the rope secure around the whole frame of the wood, we're going to flip it over and we're going to take a piece of the Nautica rope and we're going to attach it to the back so that we can hang this. I would use E6000 and some hot glue to attach it if you're going to hang this up. So that way you know that the rope will stay on there and the hot glue in E6000 will bind and it'll dry and you'll be safe to hang this up. You can stop at this step if you want, or you can add a little bow. So all I'm going to do is get some ribbon and we're going to do a sloppy bow and then we're going to attach it to the front of our frame. So I took a couple pieces of ribbon and I cut them to 6 inches and I did 2 pieces of each color. And once I had that together, I got a piece of ribbon, which I'm going to use to tie them together. So like I said, once I have them all, I do every other color and lay them down across from each other. And then we're going to use the ribbon to attach them together. We're going to use our ribbon to pull all the ribbons together and we're going to tie it in a knot a couple times and then we're going to cut off any excess ribbon and then we'll ducktail the ends of all our ribbon. Once we have that done, we're going to add a little hot glue and glue it to the front of our frame and we are done with this DIY. So I took the circle from the Dollar Tree and I painted it with cream Waverly paint. And then I got the window cleans also from the dollar store. So I just Mod Podged them down. These type of window cleans seem to do better on light color wood. Some of them you can put on any color wood and then some of them you have to put on light colors. So these picks that we got from the dollar store, all I'm going to do is cut them apart and I'm going to start laying them down to put a design on the top of our circle. So these are some of the picks I'd had from earlier, from my earlier buys. I'm really trying to use everything I bought for Halloween and harvest. So if you still have some leaf picks around or some pumpkin picks, if you don't want to put the pumpkins on there, that's fine. But since it does say pumpkin spice, I went on here and used that. So I'm really trying to use everything that I bought so I won't have to pack anything up. And once we have all of our leaves and pumpkins and picks on top of our circle, we're going to go ahead and make a bow. So we're going to use the orange tubing from the Dollar Tree and all I do is take it, hold it, loop it, hold it, and I'm just making loops and then holding on to the loops. And you continue to do this until you have the bow that you want. You can have a smaller one or if you want a really big bow, you just keep looping the ribbon and then when you're done you just cut it and then you take the end to wrap it around the bow and then use a little hot glue. I attached the bow to the flowers with a little hot glue. And then I said, let's add some of this neutral mesh also. So I just cut a couple pieces and looped it and then stuck it underneath the leaves. And once we have our bow and our little loop on, we are done with this DIY. I painted this pumpkin celery green from Waverly, and what we're going to do is cut off the leaves from this stem, and then we're also going to cut up the pick. Once we have all our leaves and pick cut up, we're going to put them aside, and then I'm going to take some yarn and wrap it around the top of our pumpkin because that's where we're going to start to attach our leaves. We're going to turn the pumpkin over and we're going to use some hot glue, and we're going to attach the yarn to the stem of the pumpkin with the hot glue, and then just take it, attach it, and wrap it all the way around the stem of the pumpkin. And now that our stem is all covered, we're going to start putting our leaves on top of our pumpkin. And once we have our arrangement attached, what we're going to do is take one of those window clings and we're going to add it to our pumpkin. We're going to add a little Mod Podge to our window cling and place that on our pumpkin. Also, once it dries, you can also go over the top part of the window cling with the Mod Podge because it does dry clear. So I didn't mean to say that before. Once you have it on, it's secure and it dries, go over your cling again to secure it to the board with some more Mod Podge. And once we have that on there, we are done with this DIY. So for our last DIY, we're going to make a flower arrangement, and it's going to be real quick. We're going to use 3 picks. So we took the 2 picks we had from the dollar store. We put them inside of the foam. I didn't glue the foam down, so this way we can use the foam or the pell again. I spread the picks out, got them the way I wanted them to look. You know, you open the picks up and see those 3 picks. Fill the pell, and then I decided, I got some scraps around, and I decided to add these 2, but I only put 2 pieces in there, 1 on each side, just to help fill out the arrangement. Now, if you're going to use this as an arrangement, I would definitely glue it down to the pail. Make sure that the foam is secure inside of the pail because as you can see, it keeps moving around. So I took one of my scarecrows. I had a bow laying around. So I just attached the bow to the scarecrow. And then I'm just going to pop him in on the back side of our arrangement. And then we are done with this DIY. Well, my love, that is the end of our fun and easy fall DIYs. Leave me a comment and let me know which one was your favorite. If you're new, welcome to my channel, and I would love it if you decide to stick around by subscribing and also hitting the notification button so you can become a member of our family. And also hit that like button. It costs nothing to do all three. If you're returning, welcome back. You are truly appreciated. I want to thank everyone for taking time out of their day to watch my video. Have a blessed day. Remember, it costs nothing to be kind. And don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. See you in our next video.